Before we dive into today's financial mystery, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and it helps us bring smarter, funnier, and sharper money talk straight to your screen. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. Go on, click it. Ready? Let's roll. When we hear the word millionaire, our brains instantly picture private jets, champagne glasses clinking, and someone checking their investment portfolio with a smile. But here's the twist. Not all millionaires are living that dream. In fact, many of them are just sitting in a house that looks rich on paper, but in reality, it doesn't make their lives financially free. Imagine this. A family buys a home worth $1 million. They've paid off the mortgage, and technically their net worth is 7 digits. On paper, they are a millionaire household, but open their bank account, and you might find less than $10,000 in liquid cash. They can't exactly slice a piece of drywall and trade it for groceries, right? This is where the illusion kicks in. A house is valuable, sure, but it's not liquid wealth. You can't pull equity out of the kitchen floor to pay for a medical bill, and you definitely can't use your roof shingles to buy a cup of coffee. Real wealth is about accessibility, flexibility, and financial security, not just property value on zip. The truth is, many people in the United States feel financially secure just because their home appreciates in value. But that sense of wealth is fragile. If the market shifts, or if life throws them a curveball, their so-called millionaire status can disappear faster than a bonus check spent on holiday shopping. So let's ask the tough question. How many of these millionaires would still hold that title if we excluded their home? Spoiler alert, the number shrinks dramatically. This isn't about tearing down the American dream of homeownership, but about showing the difference between being house rich and truly financially independent. Think of it like this. Your home is your castle, but you can't take it into battle. Real wealth is measured by the assets that fight for you when times get tough. Stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, and even side hustles can protect you. A house just sits there, waiting for you to pay property taxes, insurance, and maybe fix a leaky roof. And here's the part nobody likes to admit. Many so-called millionaires are stressed. They have the big house, but no real financial cushion. The walls look impressive, but inside those walls, there's no flexibility. True wealth should give you choices, not chain you to one address with endless bills. So, as we kick off this journey, keep this in mind. Wealth isn't about looking rich, it's about having freedom. And the moment we remove homes from the calculation, the Millionaire Club starts looking a lot smaller. Ready to uncover how deep this rabbit hole goes. Chapter 2. When a house becomes a trap. Picture this. Someone proudly says, "I'm a millionaire." It sounds impressive, right? But then you discover that the entire fortune comes from the walls, floors, and roof over their head. No stocks, no savings, no retirement account, nothing else. It's like calling yourself a chef just because you own a stove. The label doesn't always match the reality. Homes can create what I like to call the golden cage. From the outside, it shines. Friends and family admire it, neighbors envy it, and on paper, it makes you look successful. But the truth is, cages, even golden ones, still lock you in. If the only path to your wealth is through selling your house, how free are you really? And here's the kicker. Homes cost money every single month. Property taxes, insurance premiums, repairs, landscaping, utilities, the list is endless. A $1 million house can easily eat up tens of thousands of dollars per year. That's not freedom. That's an ongoing bill disguised as an asset. True wealth should give you choices. The choice to work less, the choice to travel, the choice to say no to a job you hate. But if your so-called millionaire status ties you down to one expensive house, then your wealth is as rigid as the bricks it's built from. Flexibility disappears. Think about emergencies, a medical bill, a layoff, or even an unexpected opportunity to invest. These demand quick access to cash. Try getting that from a house. You can't walk into a grocery store and say, "Can I trade my garage door for some milk?" Liquidity is power, and homes simply don't offer it. Now, don't get me wrong, owning a home can be wonderful. Stability, pride, and even long-term value are all real. But when a house becomes the only thing keeping your net worth in millionaire territory, it transforms from asset to liability, because it doesn't protect you when life strikes suddenly. This is why so many people feel wealthy on paper, but broke in real life. They've poured everything into one big box of bricks. And while the house may look impressive, the owner often struggles with the same money worries as everyone else: bills, debts, and the fear of not being prepared. So, when we ask how many millionaires would vanish without their homes, we're not just talking numbers. We're exposing a mindset, one that confuses ownership with freedom and paper value with real financial independence. The difference is massive and eye-opening. In the chapters ahead, we'll dig deeper into this illusion, uncover the numbers hiding behind the labels, and reveal what true financial strength really looks like. Spoiler: it's not just a fancy front yard. Chapter 3: The numbers behind the illusion. Let's talk numbers, but in a way that actually makes sense. There are millions of households in the United States that qualify as millionaires on paper. But when you take away their homes, a huge portion of them no longer meet that mark. It's like peeling an onion. The deeper you go, the more the illusion disappears. Experts estimate that over half of American millionaires rely mostly on the value of their house to reach that figure. Without it, many would fall below the 7-digit net worth threshold. That means their so-called wealth isn't functional. It's static, trapped in walls and land. The surprising part: this isn't a rare case. It's a common story. Families spend decades building equity in their home, thinking they're growing wealth, while their liquid assets barely grow. They're tied to the housing market, which can swing up and down like a roller coaster. One year, they feel rich. The next, a market dip cuts their paper net worth dramatically. Now imagine trying to retire early with that kind of wealth. Without liquid assets, it's almost impossible. You can't fund a vacation, cover healthcare costs, or start a business if your only asset is a house you can't sell without moving out. The millionaire label suddenly feels more like a trap than a triumph. But here's the twist: wealth isn't just about hitting a number. Real wealth is measured by freedom and security. Stocks, bonds, rental income, and cash reserves give you flexibility. You can make choices without worrying about whether a sudden expense will force you to sell your home at the worst possible time. And here's a fun way to look at it. Think of liquid assets as a superhero suit. They allow you to move fast, act decisively, and protect yourself from financial villains. Your house, it's more like a statue of a superhero. Looks cool, but it won't save you if trouble comes knocking. Some people argue, but real estate always appreciates. True, but appreciation alone doesn't pay your bills. Markets crash, interest rates spike, and home repairs are unpredictable. The reality is, relying solely on a home for millionaire status is risky, very risky. So, when you hear someone boast about their $1 million home, remember to ask the right questions. How much is actually accessible? How much can they invest, spend, or save without selling the house? The difference between appearance and reality is huge. In the next chapter, we'll explore why Americans are so obsessed with home ownership, and why this obsession can make people feel wealthy even when they're financially fragile. The truth might surprise you. Chapter 4: Why we fall for the house millionaire myth. Let's dive into why so many people confuse owning a house with being rich. Society has done an amazing job selling the idea that your home is the ultimate status symbol. Magazines, social media, TV shows, they all glamorize big houses with pools, manicured lawns, and gourmet kitchens. We start believing that bricks equal freedom, when in reality, they often mean responsibility. It's called the house illusion. You walk into a neighbor's mansion and think, wow, they must be rolling in money. But appearances can be deceiving. That $1 million home may come with a hefty mortgage, sky-high property taxes, and surprise repair bills. Their financial reality behind the walls could be very different from what you imagine. One reason this illusion is so strong is emotional. A home isn't just an investment, it's personal. Memories, family gatherings, and milestones happen there. It feels like wealth because it's deeply connected to our lives. People mistake emotional attachment for financial strength, confusing sentiment with liquidity, and comfort with freedom. Another factor is social comparison. Humans naturally measure themselves against others. When you see friends or neighbors living in impressive homes, you assume they're rich. But net worth isn't a fashion contest. True wealth isn't about having the biggest house on the street. It's about how your assets work for you, not how they look to others. The media doesn't help either. Millionaire stories often highlight home purchases, fancy renovations, and the lifestyle that comes with it. Rarely do they focus on liquid assets, savings, or investment strategy. That skews perception. making millions tied to a home seem like real wealth, when it's actually less flexible than most people think. And here's the kicker. During economic downturns, the house illusion can collapse fast. Housing markets fluctuate, interest rates change, and unexpected expenses pop up. A house worth $1 million today might lose value tomorrow. If your financial security relies solely on that property, you're suddenly less wealthy than the glossy headlines suggest. So why do people cling to this myth? Comfort and identity play a huge role. Owning a house gives a sense of accomplishment. It feels safe, stable, and impressive. But in doing so, many ignore the importance of building truly liquid assets that can support them in emergencies, investments, or lifestyle changes. We also underestimate the hidden costs. Home ownership isn't just the mortgage. Maintenance, utilities, insurance, and property taxes all drain cash flow. These costs can turn $1 million asset into a net zero or even negative impact on your real financial freedom. A home can quietly sabotage wealth if it's your only asset. In the end, recognizing this illusion is the first step toward financial clarity. Real wealth is accessible, flexible, and functional. It's not a static number tied to one location. As we move into the next chapter, we'll uncover the actual numbers. How many Americans would stop being millionaires if we removed their homes from the calculation? And what that really tells us about wealth in the United States. Chapter 5. Counting Real Millionaires. Now it's time to get a bit more precise. But don't worry, we'll keep it simple. When people say there are millions of millionaires in the United States, they often include everyone whose net worth, including their home, reaches $1 million. But what happens when we strip out that property value? The picture changes dramatically. Studies suggest that roughly 15 million households in the US hold net worth over $1 million. Sounds impressive, right? But remove the value of their homes, and the number drops to somewhere between 6 and 8 million. That's less than half of the original group. Many millionaires are really just homeowners whose wealth is trapped in real estate. This tells us something important. Having a big house doesn't guarantee financial freedom. Liquid assets, cash, stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, and income-generating investments are what really matter. These are the resources you can use, grow, and access in a crisis or two. Seize an opportunity. Houses alone can't do that. Think about it like this. Two people could have the same net worth, but one has it mostly in a home, and the other has it in investments. When life throws a curveball like an unexpected medical bill, the investor is in control, while the homeowner might have to scramble for cash or take on debt. Real wealth is measured by flexibility, not appearance. Even more revealing, many Americans with million-dollar homes have less than $10,000 in savings or investments. They are technically rich, but their financial safety net is minimal. If emergencies strike, they are as vulnerable as someone earning far less. The difference is the illusion created by real estate. Another interesting point. Not all real estate is created equal. Location, market trends, and interest rates can heavily influence home value. A house in one city may appreciate steadily, while another in a different area might stagnate or lose value. Relying on a home to maintain millionaire status is gambling with your financial security. The takeaway here is clear. Counting millionaires by home equity inflates the perception of wealth. It creates a false sense of security, encouraging people to assume they're financially independent, when in reality, they may be cash poor and highly leveraged. The illusion can be comforting, but dangerous. So, when someone boasts about being a millionaire, always ask, how much of that is liquid, and how much is just walls and a roof? The difference is critical. True wealth is measured by what you can use, not just what looks impressive on paper. In the next chapter, we'll explore how lifestyle choices and spending habits play into this illusion, and why some millionaires never feel rich despite their expensive homes. The lessons here could change the way you approach money forever. Chapter 6. Lifestyle Traps and the Illusion of Wealth. Let's talk about lifestyle. Many so-called millionaires live beyond what their liquid assets would allow. The house, the car, the designer furniture, it all creates an image of wealth. But appearances can be deceiving. A lavish lifestyle fueled by property value is fragile. One market dip or unexpected expense, and it can crumble fast. The house often dictates the lifestyle, not the other way around. People assume that because they have $1 million home, they can spend freely. But mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, and maintenance consume cash every month. Their wealth is tied to bricks, not money they can actually use to improve their lives. Spending habits matter more than many realize. Some homeowners continue to buy luxury items or upgrade their property, assuming the value will keep rising. But if the market stalls or declines, those purchases don't make them wealthier. They just increase financial strain. Real wealth grows from assets that generate income, not expenses that look impressive. Another trap is lifestyle inflation. As home value goes up, people often feel richer and start spending more. Vacations, cars, even daily indulgences can expand to match the imagined wealth. Meanwhile, liquid assets remain stagnant. This creates a dangerous imbalance, where the perception of wealth is much higher than actual financial flexibility. And let's not forget opportunity cost. Money tied up in a house could be invested elsewhere, growing over time through dividends, interest, or compound returns. When wealth is locked in real estate, potential growth in liquid assets is sacrificed. That missed growth can be the difference between financial freedom and living paycheck to paycheck. Financial stress is another hidden consequence. Even if the home value climbs, homeowners may feel anxious about bills, repairs, or market crashes. The millionaire label doesn't protect them from sleepless nights, unexpected expenses, or sudden economic shifts. True wealth reduces stress. It doesn't hide it behind walls. Here's a key insight. Flexibility beats appearances. A smaller home with substantial investments provides more freedom than a large, expensive house with no liquid assets. The first can adapt to emergencies, opportunities, or lifestyle changes. The second is trapped by the very thing that seems impressive. So when we measure real wealth, we look beyond the facade. What can be accessed, grown, and used freely matters more than the size of the house, the number of rooms, or the neighborhood prestige. Real millionaires focus on freedom, not just labels. In the next chapter, we'll explore strategies for turning house-rich situations into true wealth, how to leverage property smartly without being trapped by it. The insights could change the way you think about your home forever. Chapter 7: Turning House Equity into Real Wealth. Now that we've seen how a house can create the illusion of wealth, let's explore ways to make it actually work for you. The key is strategy. Owning property doesn't automatically make you financially free, but with smart moves, it can become part of a true wealth-building plan. One approach is leveraging equity wisely. Instead of seeing your house as untouchable, think of it as a tool. Home equity loans or lines of credit can provide access to cash for investments, emergencies, or opportunities, but caution is crucial. Borrowing irresponsibly can turn an asset into a liability in no time. Another strategy is diversification. Don't let the house be your only big asset. Investing in stocks, bonds, or retirement accounts balances your financial portfolio. This ensures that even if the housing market dips, you have other sources of wealth supporting you. Flexibility is what separates paper millionaires from real ones. Rental properties are another way to turn real estate into liquid income. Owning additional homes or units that generate rent can provide steady cash flow. Suddenly, your property isn't just an asset on paper, it's a source of real, spendable wealth that supports lifestyle choices and long-term financial security. It's also important to manage lifestyle alongside property value. Just because your home appreciates doesn't mean spending should increase automatically. Keep living costs sustainable. Financial freedom comes from control, not appearances. Avoid the trap of letting a high-value home dictate your spending habits. Another tip: always plan for unexpected costs. Property taxes, repairs, and insurance can quickly erode the benefits of a high-value home. A true millionaire prepares for these events with savings and investments. That's how you turn a house into a stepping stone for freedom rather than a financial trap. Home improvements can be strategic too. Focus on renovations that increase resale value or generate rental income. Cosmetic upgrades are fun, but only investments that create returns will truly help you build liquid wealth. Approach property with a mindset of functionality, not vanity. Understanding the distinction between wealth and luxury is essential. A large, expensive home might feel like success, but real financial power comes from assets that work for you. Liquidity, flexibility, and growth potential define true millionaire status, not just a property's market price. Finally, remember this: your home should support your life, not control it. With careful planning, property can become a valuable part of a diversified financial strategy. The goal is freedom, not just the illusion of being rich. In the final chapter, we'll reveal the ultimate lesson: how many Americans truly remain millionaires without counting their homes, and what that means for your financial mindset. Chapter 8: The Reality Check. Who's really a millionaire? It's time for the ultimate reveal. We've talked about illusions, lifestyle traps, and strategies. But now let's answer the question: how many Americans would still be millionaires if we didn't count their homes? The answer might shock you, and it comes with a powerful lesson about real wealth. Estimates suggest that out of the 15 million millionaire households in the United States, only 6 to 8 million actually qualify without including the value of their homes. That's less than half. Suddenly, the millionaire club looks a lot smaller, doesn't it? Paper wealth is one thing, but functional, accessible wealth is another. This shows why so many people feel rich on paper, but stressed in reality. Owning a high-value home is impressive, but it doesn't pay bills, create investment opportunities, or provide true financial freedom. Real millionaires focus on assets they can use and grow, not just admire from a distance. Another key insight: geography matters. $1 million home in one city might be more of a liability than an asset, while smaller homes with diversified investments in another area could provide far more financial security. Location and liquidity combine to determine true wealth, not just sticker price. The lesson here is simple but profound. Being rich isn't about a big house, a fancy car, or Instagram-worthy lifestyle. It's about flexibility, freedom, and security. The numbers reveal that most millionaires without liquid assets are vulnerable, even if they live in stunning homes. So, what does this mean for you? Don't rely solely on property for wealth. Build liquid assets, diversify investments, and create sources of income that work for you. Focus on freedom and flexibility rather than appearances. This mindset will make you more financially resilient than relying on home equity alone. Remember, wealth is about choices. Real millionaires can respond to opportunities, cover emergencies, and make life decisions without stress. House-rich individuals might look wealthy, but without liquid assets, their options are limited. The difference between illusion and reality is enormous. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on your own financial situation. Are your assets working for you, or is your wealth tied to property that could vanish in a market dip? True financial power comes from understanding the difference and building assets that provide freedom. Finally, if you learned something valuable today, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've exposed the illusion of house-based millionaires, revealed the real numbers, and shared strategies to build true wealth. Your future self will thank you. Now go start building real, flexible, and liquid financial freedom.